So the format of this worksheet is the exact same format you're going to see on your quiz tomorrow. So make sure that if you're not understanding what to do in a certain category, you're getting that taken care of. Watch the video all the way through, come to class prepared with questions, so we make sure we're good to go on the actual quiz. So I'm just going to go through and do some select ones. So let's start by looking at number 2. Okay, there are different numbers that you could see that you want to pull out, whether that be a 2 or something else. I'm going to start with a smaller number just to make sure we remember the process. So let's say we see 2. They do all have the variable. The smallest exponent is d, so I can factor out a 2d. So I'll divide. That gives me a 6d to the third, a 12d, and then and 20. Then we'll check again. 6, 12, and 20. I can pull out a 2 again. So that'll leave me with a 3, a 4, and 10. Only one will go into 3, 4, and 10, so I'm going to multiply these two things together. Now, this only asks you to find the GCF, so all we need for our answer is 4D. Okay, number 4, it asks you to factor the following by factoring out a GCF. So all we're doing is a GCF because that's what the instructions tell us. So while it is 3 terms and we do know how to factor a trinomial, that's not what the instructions are asking us to do here. So we're just doing a GCF. Okay, they are all divisible by 4. They do not all have the variable. So that leaves me with a 3x squared minus x minus 1. Now this one asks me to factor out the GCF. So I need to have that GCF out in front with the stuff left over inside parentheses. So there's my final answer on that one. Okay, let's take a look at number 7. The instructions tell us to factor by grouping. Okay, so for grouping, we're going to split it in half. Okay, on the left-hand side, 1 and 3, so nothing there. They don't both have the A, but they do both have the B, so I can factor that out. On the right-hand side, again, we have a -1 and a -3, so they both don't have anything there. They don't both have the A. They do both have the Y, and the leading number, right, is negative, so we want to factor that out as a negative. So that will leave us with a positive A and a negative make a positive 3. So we'll put our GCFs together. So we'll get a B minus Y. And an A plus 3. On the back side of the paper, let's look at number, how about 9? Okay, so trinomial, 1 times 18, really negative 18, right? But we're going to ignore the negative for a minute. So we'll have 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6, 4 and nothing, 5 and nothing. Okay, we want 1 negative, 1 positive, and we want the larger one to be negative. So here's our set right here. If we look in front, this does have a 1 in front, so we can use the shortcut. So we'll get a Y plus 2 and a Y minus 9. Number 10. Okay, we'll take 3 times -6, which gives us a -18. So we're going to ignore the negative for a minute. 1 and 18, 2 and 9, right? It's actually the exact same list we just made. We want the larger one to be negative. Okay, but this time we cannot use the shortcut, right? So I'm picking 2 and -9 because 2 and -9 add up to -7. Okay, but since I can't use the shortcut, I need to rewrite this into 4 terms. So this will become a 3x squared plus 2x minus 9x minus 6. And then I'll factor by grouping. So My GCF over here is x. My GCF over here is 3, but again, the leading one is negative, so I need to make that negative. So we'll put our GCFs together, which gives us an x minus 3. And then a 3x plus 2. Okay, so you finish up the remaining 6. Come to class with any questions tomorrow. Make sure you're ready to go.